the director of the Adult Residential Center, Tony Booker, and he'll just say just a couple of words.
Thank you. I just want to say how it's a pleasure to have the governor here today, just to kind of see the hard work that we do. We're real compassionate about the work that we do in helping offenders reintegrate into the community. So I just want to welcome Governor Brownback here and thank him very much for being here with us.
You can introduce Tony Taylor.
Thank you.
You're supposed to introduce him.
Well, and I would like to introduce Tony Taylor. He's been not only a longtime friend of our facility and also a volunteer, but Tony went through our program several years ago and has definitely been our success story for us. And I'd like to also thank him for all the hard work that he's done for us too.
I'm Tony Taylor. I'm an ex-offender. Give you a little bit of my past history. The Kansas City Star said that I was an outlaw biker who didn't play by the rules when they did an article. I'm a 7-time convicted felon. I've been shot 4 different times, if that lets you know what my past criminal history was like. And then the last time I was released from the penitentiary, 17 years ago, I had a detainer in Johnson County. So I got a chance to go through this program when it was new, and I credit them for my success. They gave me a new lease on life, substance abuse training, life skills classes, pre-employment classes, and I landed a job at Royal Metal Industries. Started out as a laborer, and within 5 years, I worked my way all the way up to the plant manager. And then once I became the plant manager, I didn't forget where I came from, because these people treated me like people. They didn't treat me like an inmate like I've been treated in the past. And so once I became the plant manager, I started hiring from here. And it's been very successful, and the company has grown because of that. Thanks.
Thanks, Betsy, and great program here. And I've got to start off a couple of things. Number one, go Royals. That was exciting yesterday. So exciting, it was very hard to watch, and I wasn't, because it was just getting too much. My wife said, she tweeted to me that she was going to have to, they're going to make her dye her hair again with keep it playing like that. So I don't know that, please don't report that. I'll get in trouble for that. It was making her very nervous, but it's very exciting. And then second, I sure hate losing Ray Roberts. Ray has been a fantastic Secretary of Corrections. He's done that job since the outset for me, and has been a 40-year veteran in the field. So his experience has just been fantastic, and we hate losing him. But he says it's time to do something else, and he wants to. And he's just been fantastic. Glad to have the legislators here. Molly Baumgarten, State Senator Mary Pilcher Cook, she just had to leave. Linda Gallagher and Tony Barton, State Representatives. Glad to have you guys all here as well. What I'm doing several days this week is touring corrections related and corrections facilities to see what we need to do that we can do better. We want to make sure that our inmates are incarcerated appropriately, and we also want to see that they get better while we have them in our custody. That this is a chance to improve, and that we lower our recidivism rates. That's better for everybody. That at the end of the day, they're better off and the society's better off, and that's what we're shooting for. This facility is a fantastic one. They do something that I had a gentleman say to me some years back, that we get into trouble when we treat people like problems instead of treating people like people. And they treat people, like Tony just said here. They work with them, get them training, deal with substance abuse issues, deal with mental health issues. And I think this is one of the great policy efforts that we need to continue to make, is to do better in our correction system, to make sure that we're working to get our recidivism rates down, to be able to deal with mental health issues that the inmates have, so that they can deal successfully with life, and then get them launched in a new place. There's a proverb about it's not safe to do not rest here, it's not safe. we need to get people in better places that when they relaunch, that they can relaunch more safely and be a lot more successful. They're doing a great job here at Johnson County with that. I'm delighted to see the partnership here. Johnson County heavily invested in this facility, state providing some resources. We want to continue that and see those models be successful as we move on forward. Ray, do you have any parting comments as Secretary of Corrections? Come on up here.
Well,
give that man a round of applause. 40 years of service.
thank you. Well, I want to begin by saying how much I've enjoyed working with the governor, and he's given me this opportunity, and this has definitely been the highlight of my career, being the secretary. Governor has taught me a lot about leadership, and he's taught me a lot about humility. He's supported me in the good times and the bad times, and believe me, we have bad times sometimes in corrections. I think the Department of Corrections is moving in the right direction, largely because of the support of the governor, and a lot of legislators are supportive of our initiatives. And we need to, as the governor said, we need to continue to move in the area of helping people to change their thinking and behavior, because 97% of the offenders that come to prison are going to leave, and we want them better whenever they leave the system. And Governor's helped us to put about $5 million more into offender programs in the last 5 years. He's added $3 million more into community corrections for behavioral health interventions, and he's the first governor that I've ever seen that was willing to spend the night in prison at Lansing with myself and my deputy and a judge. So you don't find that very often. But yeah, we've got a good governor, and we've got a good system, and I'd like to echo what the governor said about Betsy Gillespie. She's the top of the heap as far as I'm concerned. She's the corrections person in the state of Kansas, and I appreciate what happens here in Johnson County as well. Thank you.
Thanks, Ray. Appreciate it. Maybe. You guys have any questions?
Did you see anything today, Governor, that you think is exportable on a statewide basis or usable in El Dorado or Lansing?
I do. Some of their fabulous work are really surrounding that offender that's coming out, to get them a job, to get them the mental health assistance, to get them the substance abuse assistance. They do a first-rate job of this, and I think what shows here is that when you invest in that, you'll reap from it. Whereas so many of the programs, this is kind of a place where too often it's skimped on. It's okay, we got to incarcerate somebody. That's what they did, a crime. They're going to do the time, and that's where we put the money, and not put it on, well, let's make sure they're successful when they get out, or as much opportunity as we can to see that they can be successful.
You think it's expandable to
I do.
State custody as opposed to just county level stuff?
Well, I mean, this is a county, and I think these need to be on a county level. But on our larger counties in the state, this and Sedgwick County are the only two that have this type of a program.
Right.
But we've got several other counties that I think would be candidates to work with something like this. It reduces our load in the state prison system too, and it keeps them people more local.
But would it be difficult to do this at Lansing, for example, or in El Dorado, or?
Well, I think you're more looking at
big scale.
Yeah, I think you're more looking at a Wyandotte or because it's on a community corrections basis, and some of the surrounding, either in Shawnee, around Sedgwick, or around the Kansas City area, is probably more the exportable piece of the model. The piece of the integration of behavioral health is happening. They're doing it faster and better here, and we need to do more of that. That's the piece I think that we've really got a lot of ground to till, is that mental health issues of people that are in prison.
Governor, I want to make sure I understand now. Are you saying that we need to have more funding for mental health for folks that are in prison?
I think we need a lot more integration of the current behavioral and mental health system into the prison population, and we've put more funding into it, and I think we need to maintain at least that, if not do more. I think that's a good place for us to invest, to try to reduce the recidivism and to help people be better when they get out.
So you would support more funding for the mental health leg of it?
I would. I want to look at, and I want to be clear with you on this too. I want to look at, see, are there ways that we can integrate better our current behavioral health system with the corrections system? I think that's the real key to the puzzle, because you've got your biggest lump of funding is currently in the mental health system now, and yet our correction system ends up being our mental health hospital by and large for the state. So that's a mismatch. And I want more of those systems to be integrated. We've put more money in it at a state level. I'm willing to put more into it. But the best thing you can do is to get your bigger systems better integrated, because then you get access to a lot more resources.
Would that mean, when you talk about integration of systems, are you talking about, I think you said that prisons are now becoming sort of the mental health hospital?
Well, they have been.
Okay.
Since we've closed down so many of our mental health hospitals over the past 30 years, that's what the prison system's become.
So would you favor funding for additional mental health hospitals opening so that folks with those kinds of
Yeah,
problems would end up here?
I just don't see people willing to go back to that model of big mental health hospitals. Maybe I'm wrong, but they will do community mental health, and they will do community corrections. And that's where your better integration could take place, and then we could do a better job at the state prison system too. But I think it's your community, it's a facility like this, with the behavioral health facilities of Johnson County too. Rainbow is a good early example of that, where you've got a facility that was transitioned to a, if somebody's having they've been called by the police to come into a situation that the person is committing a crime, but there's a major behavioral health piece of this that's taking place. So a lot of times right now, the police officer's taking somebody to Rainbow as a place, you're being held here, but it's also a cooling down place, and